It is the SMT Media Network, and coming across the timeline here in my Google News feed, we got it. It's the NBA All-Star rosters. We know the starters, East and West. Let's take a look at who made the starter list. Let's see if there's any surprises, any disappointments. Of course, I welcome you to drop me a comment. Let me know which picks you like and which ones you don't like. Maybe justify or give you reason for your pleasure or displeasure with any of these. All right, so just so we're aware, the Rising Star Challenge for All-Star Weekend will be Friday, February the 14th at 9 p.m. The All-Star festivities continue on Saturday night. That'll be the 15th, and then the All-Star game will be Sunday, the 16th. So it'll all be in prime time. Most of that coverage and most of those events will be at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with the exception of the Rising Stars, which I think is at 9 p.m. Anyways, enough of that. Let's take a look at the All-Stars that made the starting list. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys the names and then kind of give you guys my take. I'll think out loud a little bit just to kind of give you guys my opinion, because that's why you're here, obviously. All right, so the first selection as an All-Star starter in the East, Jalen Brunson of the New York Knicks. I just want to say this dude is a scoring machine. He's a fantastic player. What he does for his team is second to none. He really is incredible. The consistency, the grit, his toughness, his, just willingness to just put it all on the line all the time. I have no problems with Jalen Brunson being an all-star starter. I'm good with that. Next up from the guards, Donovan Mitchell. You guys know I'm a big fan of Don. Don is incredible. Very much so, just like Jalen Brunson. I think a little bit better defensively than Jalen Brunson, in my humble opinion. But then again, he plays on a better team that's also better defensively, so all that kind of comes into play. But when it comes to the ability to score at all the different levels, he's right up there with anybody. In my opinion, I think he's one of the most elite shooting guards in the league. So, and maybe you view him as like a hybrid shooting guard, point guard, or whatever. But I definitely think he's deserving too. I don't have any problems with the first two picks. Those are excellent guards. All right, next we have Karl Anthony Towns. I don't have a problem with this one either. He's been playing incredible this year. He's very deserving of this all-star selection as a starter. I really don't. I can't think of someone who deserves it more than him on this list, right? I think he's overachieved. I think he's gone beyond expectations after the trade from Minnesota. So you got two New York Knicks, right? You would think maybe you'd get a couple of Cavaliers on there, but, it's an argument for another conversation, another video. Anyways, Giannis, next up, all-star starter. I mean, he's got MVP considerations, guys. He's been phenomenal. He's been really consistent. Outside of the first couple weeks of the year, things are looking much better in Milwaukee, and it really is because of him. He's doing a phenomenal job offensively, defensively. I think his game has become a little bit more refined this year. He is very deserving, very few more deserving than him. And to round things out, Jason Tatum. I think Tatum recently has kind of regressed a little bit, kind of sort of like Donovan Mitchell. But this is kind of a popularity contest, and Tatum is a star. And his game, I think, is very attractive to the younger voters, right? They like what Tatum brings to the table. And, based on his first couple months in the season, he was in some MVP talks too, right? And how good the Celtics were playing. So there has been a bit of a regression. It's not really going to impact all-star voting. I don't have a problem with these guys. These are legitimate all-star starters. The only thing I would say that you could question would be why there's only one Cleveland Cavalier in the starting lineup for the all-star team. Right? You could make an argument maybe someone else is deserving. I'm not saying I'm putting Darius Garland. I'm not saying I'm putting, Evan Mobley in there. Maybe they are better suited as reserves, but, they're the best team in the league, right? And you got two players from the Knicks who are not the best team in the league. I don't know. But anyways, you guys can tell me what you think of that. All right, moving on to the Western Conference, right? Your two guards. The first one, Steph Curry. I told you guys this is a popularity contest. Doesn't necessarily mean the most deserving player is going to start. The NBA is stuck. They're stuck in the past. They're stuck with their old geezers, still kind of trying to be the head of the league and being the face of the league. So you got Steph Curry as the starter. Not good. Not good at all. The team sucks. The team is awful. If you watch them, it's a terrible brand of basketball. People are enamored by the three-point shot, so obviously he's probably got all that mind share with people. Has he had some good moments this year? Absolutely. But the team is bad, and he doesn't play defense. And I mean, come on. You mean to tell me you couldn't find someone better and more consistent contributing to winning? I mean, hell, what, Anthony Edwards doesn't deserve any consideration there? I mean, really? I'm just throwing out some names, but maybe you guys could think of someone else. But putting Steph there, that's clearly based on reputation. And that's clearly based on, just that whole star power thing. Shea is the MVP in my opinion. That's a lock. Had to be a starter. No exceptions, no ifs, ands, or buts. Joker, it's the same thing. He's arguably one of the top 2 players in the league. Actually, I don't even know if that's arguable. Really. Like he's one of the most complete offensive players anybody has seen at that position, being that he's basically a center, right? Defense leaves a lot to be desired, Shea's giving you that, but anyways, that's, again, a conversation for another day. You got KD in there. Another one that I have a problem with. Has he really played that well this year? I mean, he's been good, but the team sucks, and he's the best player on that team. I don't know how I feel about this, but again, this is a popularity contest, so you see him there. Is it deserved? I don't know. You guys tell me. The Steph Curry and the Kevin Durant thing really bothers me because I know what's going to happen here. Anthony Davis is not a starter. And Anthony Davis, he's really only missed a couple of games this year. He's been super consistent. He's plays both sides of the ball, and he's been really, really good. And honestly, if it wasn't for Anthony Davis, I think the Lakers are maybe an 8-win team. Maybe less. Maybe a 5-win team. I don't know. They'd be awful. Which takes me to the next piece. LeBron. He's an all-star starter. Absolutely not deserving at all. This is reputation. This is face of the league nonsense. This is just the NBA doing NBA things. The Western Conference starting all-stars is a mockery because of things like this. You mean to tell me that Jalen Williams isn't a more impactful player for the Thunder than LeBron James? Guys, the LeBron James, if you want to make the argument he's the second best offensive player on the Lakers, fine. Jalen Williams is the second best offensive player on the Thunder. And they're like a 37-win team. The Lakers are barely 500, and the only reason they're 500 is because they play garbage teams. And they've been able to beat those bad teams. But when they play good teams, they're trash. But it's a popularity contest. So guys like Jalen Williams are not going to be in here. Anthony Davis is not in here. I mean, hell, you can make an argument that maybe Alfred Sengun is better. Jaren Jackson, more consistent. I mean, Wemby's not up here. I got LeBron up here, but I don't have Wemby, who is the face of the future. I don't have Anthony Edwards. Guys like that are getting overlooked because of KD, because of LeBron, because of Steph. But it's a vote, right? I personally believe there are some snubs on here. I do. You guys tell me who got snubbed. You guys tell me who you would switch out. And I don't really care. You know, the people in the comment section, you guys going to call me a hater, whatever. Not everybody's always going to say everything you like. Get over it. Stop acting like a little bitch. All right? Some people are going to say things you don't agree with. Just justify it. Tell me your opinions. Don't be a little girl, and don't be a wimp, and don't be a punk. Just say what you got to say. Back it up with fact. I'll read what you have to say. But don't act like a pansy. You know? It's just all-star voting. Get over it. But what do you guys think? I'm interested to read what you guys have to say. Give me your thought process and your opinions.